morning. My name is Lily. If you haven't been to my channel before, welcome. Happy to have you here. So excited. Going crazy. Sorry about the glare in my glasses. There's a big window just behind me or in front of me. So that's gonna happen. But welcome to my sewing space. It's a bit of a mess because I am making face masks for all of my friends and family here in sunny Melbourne. Well, sunny today, but cold. But yeah, so let's get started on how to make a face mask. So here is an example of a face mask that I've made. There are some pleats so that you can contour it to your face. I've done these in two different fabrics so that you can clearly tell the difference between the front and the back, so that when you're out and about, if you do take it off to have a drink or whatever, you know which side was on your face initially, so you can put it back on like that. This is a very informal tutorial, by the way. Here we have two pieces of fabric. Obviously these are very contrasting. I'm just making them almost square. They're a little bit, one side's a little bit longer than the other, just so that it can go wider over the face and thinner. You know, I'll demonstrate at the end. It's a bit hard to explain. Right sides together and sew along two sides. Alright, so here I've just clipped along the two shorter sides so that I know not to sew on those ones. If you are a new sewer, I would recommend pinning across here so that the fabric doesn't move, but because I've been sewing for a while, I don't like to use pins if I don't have to, so I'm just going to sew along the two open edges and close them up. So now we have the two sides sewn together. I'm just gonna trim these hems a little bit so that they're not so wide. So I'm gonna do that now. Done! So now I'm just gonna turn it inside out. And this fabric is so pretty. I love this pink. This is from my friend Taylor, so Taylor, this is your mask. This is how I made it. Hopefully you're watching. Yeah. So this is both sides. Yeah, so the reason why I like to leave the two sides open while I'm sewing these is it's a lot easier to put the elastic in this way. So for these ones, I have actually been using some hair ties. These are extra stretchy ones. I just also like to stretch them out beforehand, just to give them, you know, as much stretch as they can get. So it's just me playing with it. But yeah, so the reason why I'm using hair ties is because when I went to go get some elastic from the fabric shop, they were out of it. And I was waiting in line for like 45 minutes to get the fabric. So I was like, what can I use for elastic? And then I remembered for my scrunchies, I use hair ties. So I was like, I reckon that could be about the right size to wrap around ear. And it's pretty good. I mean, some of the hair ties don't have as much stretch in them, so they do pull a little bit. But for those ones, I just try to make the mask a little bit wider so that there's less pull on the actual hair tie itself, if that makes sense. I don't know if any of this is making sense. Anyway, so now what we're going to do is we're going to get one end and fold it in on itself so that you're making a nice hem. Like so, if you opened it up, there's two bits folded in on itself. You can see it a bit better on the pink. But yeah, so we're going to do that, and I just like to once again get one of my clips. These are amazing if you are a sewer who sews all the time. I highly recommend getting some if you don't have them already. I like to clip in the middle of the side that I'm going to be sewing, and then I like to place the elastic about maybe half a centimetre to a centimetre in from the end, and only about, I don't know if you're going to be able to really see this, but only have about that much of the elastic actually in to the side of the mask, so that you don't lose much of the length, because that is really important to have as much length as you can. So yeah, so I like to sew one end in, like so, start sewing from the end, sew in, and then I just like to back stitch over that quite a few times just to make sure that it's really secure in there. And then we just sew down here, and then when we get to the end, or obviously take the clip out, and then once we get down to the end, I like to, as in the machine, I'll show you when I do it, but I then like to pull that down to the other end and then sew that in place, once again back stitching over a few times to make sure that it's really secure.
Pretty hand. Okay, so now I just like to get this part of the elastic and tuck it in there. It can be a little bit tricky. I know it's probably not the easiest way to do it, but it's the way that suits me, and yeah.
So now that we've done one side, I'll show you what I mean. So here it does get a little bit messy with the back stitching if you're not too careful. Like, this side looks a bit better. But yeah, so as you can tell now, the fabric is a bit curved because of the tension from the elastic, but that's okay. That's obviously going to happen because then we're going to pleat it and then it'll be perfectly fine. And we'll do little pleats. But yeah, so now I'm just going to do the other side. It's exact same process, so I'm not going to bore you with that. So now that we have got both sides elasticated, don't know if that's the right word to use, but yeah, so now that we have got the elastic on both sides, we're going to create the pleats. So for this one, I like to start at the bottom. Don't know why, just do. So I just like to create the first pleat. I like to just get about 1.5 to 2 centimeters worth of fabric and just fold it down on itself like that. And then I just like to place a pin in the middle, like so, like that. Where are you? And just do the same up the top so that it becomes like that. So this is what the final pleats, well, not final because they're not sewed down, but this is what the pleats will look like. You can adjust these to be as wide or as thin as you like. I'm making these in mass, so I just like to make them all the same, or like at least approximately the same. They're all going to be slightly different because they're handmade. Now I'm just going to sew across here and down on the bottom.
So this is what it will look like. Would be a lot better if I had to use a matching colour, but it looks good on the black side. So yeah. When you're doing obviously 2 contrasting colours, it's hard to get a thread to match both. So I just went with black. Yeah. Don't know if that was the best choice, but it's gonna have to do. So yeah, I'm just going to cut these threads off and do it on the other side. So this is the final mask. I think it looks super cute. I'm not going to put this one on. I'll just go grab mine. One sec. Cool. Sorry for the really messy background. This is my beautiful mannequin. Haven't got a name for her yet. If you have a suggestion, give me a comment down below because she'd love to have a name. So this is my mask. Made exactly the same, just I used the same fabric on both sides.
just because it was the first one that I made. I'll demonstrate how to put it on. Take your glasses off first. Gotta be done. Save lives. That's it. So yeah, pretty simple. This is what it looks like. Yeah, I feel really badass in this, but badass. But yeah, so this is it with my glasses on. Don't know if you can tell that I'm talking, but yeah, so just wraps around the ears. Pretty groovy. That's it. This is how you make a mask. If you have any other questions, comment them down below and I will answer them pretty much straight away because obviously I'm at home and I can do that. Yeah. Well, they're not fogging up. So I hope you enjoyed this tutorial. Let me know if you do make them down below and what you think. Yeah. I'll link both of my Instagrams down below. I have a small business called LMA Designs. I'm going to take this off because I don't actually need to have this on right now. Yeah, so I have a small business called LMA Designs and I create hand-sewn goods and also hand-drawn prints and digital prints, custom prints, lots of different things. So check out the link down below and I'll also link my personal Instagram. Yeah, send me a message if you have any questions, comment down below if you have any questions, give this video a like if you enjoyed this tutorial, and I will see you in my next video. Bye!